Hey guys, it's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and once again, you and I are officially inside my Fire web class series. So my goal today is to jump on here and talk to you about how you can supercharge your sales, Printerman style. Yeah? She's like, what? She's like, what? I'm just enjoying what's on your hand. What exactly are you licking right now? What is this about? Oh, I've got some grease on my hand. Is that what you're tasting? The cocoa butter shayness of things? Hey y'all, so listen, we're going to talk about supercharging your sales tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time joining me, I am LaShanda Henry, aka Sister Sense, and I help entrepreneurs make sense of making money online. Hopefully I am right on time for you. Hey Quanisha, welcome. Thank you for joining me, my dear. Guys, feel free to share because of course sharing is caring, number one. And if you're catching me on the replay, tongue-tied. If you're catching me on the replay side, always remember to drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. You do know that cocoa butter is not food. You're well aware of this. She's like, look, tastes good, I'm gonna lick it. Tastes good, I'm gonna lick it. So all right, y'all, we're gonna talk about supercharging your sales. 3 words, 4 strategies, 1 secret. This is my late night live. You know it's too late when I get tongue-tied, but I'm super excited to hang out with you guys today. So first thing that I'm going to do is just remind you to turn on alerts and notifications so that when I do go live, you can get those. And of course, feel free to share this out, tag somebody who needs to hear this, because of course, sharing is caring. So let's jump into the conversation really head first into talking about sales. That's on my mind. As you know, on Sister Sense, I focus on 3 core areas when it comes to mentoring and helping other women entrepreneurs. And that's helping you work on your money goals, your marketing goals, and your sales goals. Now, I just recently had my 3-hour Spring into Actual virtual conference. We talked about those 3 areas, and literally I dug deep into supercharging your sales. So what I wanted to do was kind of take you inside of the Spring into Action experience and help you with your sales if that's something that you needed to work on right now. Now, write this down, okay? WWC, that stands for Weekly Web Class. You can go there to sign up to get updates when I do these weekly web classes. And then number 2, you can grab right now the Spring into Action replays if you haven't already gotten them, okay? So, all right. I know, right? Little Miss Printerman's here is blowing in the wind right now. We got to stay cool. This ring light gets bright, y'all. I get hot. I be like, no. Okay. And I don't even know which way to go to grab this here. So, okay. 3 words. There are 3 words that I'm going to talk to you first when it comes to your sales, and then we're going to dig into 4 strategies and 1 secret. Those 3 words are, drum roll please, set, track, example. Okay, those are the 3 words we're going to talk about tonight when it comes to your sales. First one is set. You want to set your numbers so that you can get your coins, okay? What does that mean? How much money do you want to make? What exactly are you going to sell to reach those goals? So right now, I'm working on my next incubator. So I've got my best seller bootcamp that's coming up in May. Enrollment is already open for that, so I can help entrepreneurs work on new products. And I'm also working on a 10K in 10 days incubator. So as I'm testing out these various marketing strategies that I'm going to be talking about in the upcoming incubator, I actually said, okay, 10K, 10 days breaks down to 1K a day, right? So yesterday, in working on these different initiatives, I was able to bring in $950. So that was close to the 1K for the day. Yay, right? And in doing that experience, I figured I could bring you into some of the strategies that have worked really well for me. Now, when you think about that experience, right? 10K in 10 days, breaking down into 1K in 1 day, how are you going to bring in $1,000 in 1 day? What are you going to sell? How many do you need to sell? These are all things that I always build at the very beginning of every conversation that I have with you when it comes about being strategic and intentional with your money, because if you want to make the money, you have to set your sales goals, okay? Now, what does that mean? If you're looking to generate that kind of money, if you're looking to generate about $1,000, let's look at different price points, okay? And I would normally do this as an activity where I ask you guys to drop it into the comment box, but I'm as blind as a bat right now. Hey, Don, how are you, my dear? Let me see if I can jump onto Facebook on my phone and see your comments. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, so good. I know, right? Ring lights can be super, super hot. It's super bright on my end, but it seems like it's coming up all right over here. All right, so let's do this. First, let's crunch some of these numbers when it comes to setting sales and then move forward, okay? So with that in mind, the 10K, 10-day incubator, breaking down into 1K per day. What do you need to sell? How much do you need to sell to reach that goal? Let's break down some numbers. So how many $10 offers do you need to sell to bring in $1,000? If you know that number, drop it in real quick for me. Hey, my dear, welcome, guys. Feel free to share this out because, of course, sharing is caring. If somebody in your circle needs to learn about sales, feel free to let them jump into this circle, right? So how many? Do you guys know how many $10 sales you have to sell to get to $1,000? Anybody? Okay, I'll tell you because I don't know if you guys are thinking about that Jeopardy style. The reality is, if you want to get to 1,000 with $10, you need 100 of those. Okay, so that's number one. Drop that somewhere, save that somewhere. You need 100 $10 sales to get to 1,000, right? Hey, Yolanda, thank you for joining me. So let's say you are working in the $50 arena. So how many $50 sales do you need to get to 1,000? Okay, do the math. You need how many $50? Oh, thank you for tagging. Tag somebody in the circle. Yolanda says 6 minutes late. No, my dear, you are right on time. You are absolutely right on time. Okay. So right now what we're doing is we're talking about your sales. And the first thing I said is we need to talk about 3 words. The first word is set. So when it comes to your sales, you want to make that money. You need to be clear about how much you want to make and how much you need to sell to reach that goal. Okay. So I said keep in mind, if you wanted to say, let's say you wanted to make $1,000. Now I'm talking about making $1,000 in one day. Maybe for you, you want to make $1,000 in a month. Doesn't matter. Whatever your goal is, right? You've got that $1,000 in mind. We're talking about certain numbers. So I'm looking at the $10 offer, the $50 offer, $100 offer, and a 1K offer, okay? Well, 100, 500, and 1K, okay? So let's say you have $100 offer. How many $100 offers do you need to sell to get to 1,000? You have to sell 10, right? That's not too bad. You got to keep in mind, if you had a $10 offer, you would need to sell 100 of those to get to 1,000. If you had a $100 offer, you just need to sell 10 of those to get to 1,000, right? So how many do you need to sell if you have a $500 offer? Just need to sell 2, right? So you just need to sell 2 $500 offers to get to 1,000. And of course, how much do you need to sell if you have an offer that's $1,000? Just 1, right? So think about that first. In order to really talk about sales and be strategic, the first thing we have to do is crunch the numbers. We're looking at several numbers: $10 offers, $50 offers, $100 offers, $500 offers, and $1,000 offers, right? And obviously, the more you charge, the less amount of sales you need to make, right? Which in some ways is great because it's like, okay, I don't have to make as many sales, but obviously the higher the price point, the more work you got to put in to show people the value of that particular higher price point offer, okay? So keep that in mind. All right. So I see you guys dropping into the comment box here. Thank you for dropping in, Quanisha. 20 sales equals $50 to get to 1K. 10 sales equals $100. At $100 equals 1K. Thank you for dropping those in there because you got to be clear about the numbers, okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is think about setting your goals and thinking about what you're going to sell, how many you need to sell. So when I am in a process of getting really laser focused on my sales, that's the first place that I start. Now that I'm specifically testing out a few things because I'm working on, hopefully I'll be able to launch this in a couple of months, the 10K incubator. In my testing yesterday, yesterday I worked on 1K in one day and I brought in 950, which was pretty close, using a few of my strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight, okay? So the first word is set your goal, because when you set that and you work towards it, amazing things can happen. The next next thing is to track. You need to track. And there are a couple of things that you need to track. As you set your goal and the time frame that you want to work towards that goal, you need to track your results. So how much are you bringing in? How many sales are you making throughout a period of time? Okay, that's number one. But number two, what you got to do is you need to track your customers, okay? I'm assuming everybody here knows the 80-20 rule, or maybe I shouldn't assume that. For those of you who are live right now, and even if you're watching the replay, you can drop in and go, ooh, I didn't know about that. Do you guys all know the 80-20 rule? As I try to do all kind of stuff. I've got my weekend workshop here in North Carolina, so I twisted my hair, and it's all in braids. It's gonna be braided up until I bring out the waves. I bring out the waves on Friday. So I'm trying to figure out where things are. Okay, that's that side. How do I move those on that side? I feel like a hot mess when I look in this thing. I'm like, I never know what is on what side. My God. Okay, so I'm waiting to see, those of you who are live right now, do you know the 80-20 rule? Do you need to know the 80-20 rule? Drop an N or a Y into the comment box, okay? If you do. Hey, D says 80% of your business comes from 20% of your products. Yay, you get a car. Not really. I wish I could give you a car. But you are absolutely correct. When it comes to sales, the 80-20 rule is 80% of the sales in your business is coming from 20% of your customers, right? So what you need to do is you need to, number one, track your results once you start setting your numbers and working towards those numbers. But then number two, you need to track your customers. You need to know them by name. You need to know how often they're coming back to you, because it's those customers, that 20%, that is going to create a sustainable business for you. Yeah, you're going to have a rolling business where people come in, they come out, they bring new people, old people come back. You know, it is what it is, the roll. But also in that process, you're going to have some people that tried and true, your beehive, they are going to stay with you. And so what you want to do is make sure you're aware of them, because too many entrepreneurs make the mistake of always looking for that new money, that new fish, and they're not understanding that the easiest person to sell to is somebody who you already sold to. Okay. Now, right now, as part of my Spring into Action experience, I actually am hosting the Jump Marketing Challenge. And for 30 days, all the different strategic things that I'm doing in my business, I'm sharing with the entrepreneurs who are listening to me, tuning in as part of the Jump Challenge. It's an audio series. So literally every night before I go to bed, before I lay my head on that pillow, I do an audio recording and I say, these are the marketing strategies that I've been doing today. And I share that with the ladies who are participating in the challenge. By the way, the challenge is a part of the Spring into Action experience, as well as my bestseller bootcamp, both of which you can learn more about at sistasense.com/WWC, which stands for Weekly Web Class. So if you go there to learn about me and sign up to the Weekly Web Class series, I can't say it's going to be there forever, but for right now, you have the opportunity to learn about and sign up to either get the Spring into Action replays, or number two, the bestseller bootcamp. It's a 90-day experience so that I can help you create your products. All right. If you want 90 days to get focused, to avoid all that overwhelm and just kind of focus on product creation, whether it be service packages, physical, printables, digitals, we are going to focus. Reduce the overwhelm and the overthinking so that you can stop the underperforming and really focus on what you need to do. That's what the bestseller bootcamp is all about. That's why I've created it for you. So you can learn more about that over there. Okay. Now, the Jump Marketing Challenge, as I mentioned before, is a part of that experience. And when you sign up for those, you automatically will get access to the marketing series. One of the things that I talked about very recently in the Jump Challenge was my 80-20 technique. And essentially I said, listen, real talk, one of the things that I like to do is I like to sit down and look at my 20% and reach out to them and personally create tailored offers for people who are in that list. So I can say, hey, sis, is this something that you would be interested in? I know this looks like a good fit based on who I know you to be and what I know that we've done together. Right? So thinking about number one, the 80-20 rule. Number two, identifying the people who are at the top of the list of people who really love your products and services and invest in getting those things from you Following up with them consistently is important because yes, email marketing works, but email marketing isn't simply about you just kind of sending out things to many people. It's about the personalization. It's about really showing that you're invested in the people that are coming to you. You want to help them. You want to consistently work with them, and you know who they are. Okay. You know who they are. So first word for sales tonight was set. Second word for sales tonight was track. Track your results as far as your sales, track your 80, your 20%, your top followers, your true fans, and make sure that you are communicating with them on a consistent basis. Okay. So the next word that I'm going to share with you tonight is example. Example. Thank you for the hearts and whatever those things are. The thumbs up. Awesome. I'm like, whatever those things are, I'm so blind. Like, thank God I have the phone beside me so I can be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I'm so blind, y'all. Make sure you turn on alerts and notifications so that when I do these late night lives and random web class sessions, you can see and pop on here. And again, if you're just jumping on, feel free to share. Okay. So the next thing is example, because here's the deal. If you want consistent revenue, if you want people to jump up when you post your offers, you need to show up on a more consistent basis. One of my favorite quotes is as follows. Example is not the main thing to getting other people to see you as an influencer. It is the only thing. When it comes to influencing other people, example is not the main thing. It is the only thing. I love that quote because the reality is so much to say about you leading by example. So many people want to sign up and work with you, and they want to sign up and take advantage of what you do based on what they see. And some of you are not consistently showing up and leading by example. You know, it's funny. I have ladies who are like 10 and 20 years my senior, and they're like, I want to be like you when I grow up, right? They appreciate the example of what I'm doing, me showing up, and that consistently. I've been doing this. I've been working online for many years now, almost 2 decades. I've been working at home. My son is going to be 13 years old this year. Can you believe it? I have a 13-year-old. I got some gray hairs. Don't look at the gray hairs. Let me push back so you can so you can't see the gray hairs. You know, I've been online for doggone 20 years. I've been working at home for over 16 years now, which is crazy. First couple of years I was doing it as a side hustle sister, but then I did it full time, and I've been doing it full time ever since. I'm certifiably unemployable, right? I lead by example. So if you want people to jump up and show up, or rather sign up to your offers, you got to show up. So what does that mean? Are you leading by example? Are you just kind of marketing every like now and again, or lurking, or are you being patient, present, and persistent? Those 3 P's are very powerful to me. Patient, present, persistent, right? You got to be patient. You can't just get frustrated when things don't work and stop. In order for you to break through to the breakthrough, you cannot break down, right? You got to keep going. You got to keep going, right? So being in that space, you have to be an example for your audience, okay? And I'm going to talk about being an example a little bit more in this conversation, but those are, for me, 3 really powerful words when it comes to sales. Setting your numbers, number 1. Tracking those numbers, tracking your top 20% of customers, number 2. And being an example. You want to be an influencer, you want people to buy your stuff, you better show up and be a powerful example of who you are, what you do, and what you represent as a business owner. Because if people see you as wishy-washy, they're not going to buy your stuff. As that summertime person, that booty call person, they're not going to buy your stuff. Okay? Just being honest. So let me check in here. Thank you for Dawn for being my transcriber for today. Yes, patient, present, persistent. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, okay, let's talk about the 4 strategies, 4 sales strategies that I'm going to share with you guys tonight, all right? And as I gave you the words, let me give you the strategies, and then we'll dig into them. So the words that we talked about so far tonight, we talked about set, track, and example. Now we're going to talk about 4 strategies when it comes to sales: upsells, lost sales, repeat sales, and flash sales. Okay, so those are the 4 strategies we're going to touch on, and then I'm going to go into number 1, my secret for tonight. All right, now make sure you turn on alerts so that you can get access to these when I do these lives, and then also write down WWC, which stands for weekly web class, so you can go over there, sizzlesense.com/WWC, to sign up absolutely free for updates when I do my weekly web class session, so you can get some of my best live updates and replays too. And of course, over there, I've got some awesome resources to share with you. Tonight, we did a magnetic marketing mastermind session. Hopefully you're in my mastermind, but if you're not, you can actually get a $10 mastermind trial right now, which is pretty awesome. And that information is on that page as well for my new mastermind members or folks trying to get in the mastermind and hang out with us when we do our awesome Fire Starter Circle sessions. So, all right, first thing we're going to do is talk about upsells. And I am going to actually walk you through a few different things that I have done this week. Okay. So I'm actually going to talk about a particular offer that I have. It's called my Ultimate Girl Boss Bundle. And it's one of my good goods right now. And I'm going to share with you these different sales strategies based on what's happening for that particular bundle. So here is the short part of it, UGBB. UGBB stands for Ultimate Girl Boss Bundle. Okay. So that you can go there and you can take a look at the bundle. All right, and see the different sales strategies that I'm going to talk to you about today. sizzlesense.com/UGBB. Okay, first thing is upsells. Now, yes, you want to think about your offer and making those sales come through, but of course, you want to bring in as much revenue as possible, right? So one way to do that is to not just offer people one offer at one price point, but allow them to a la carte, add other things into the cart before they hit checkout, right? So I have the Ultimate Girl Boss Bundle, has so many wonderful trainings and courses and challenges and templates on money marketing and sales, okay? And then directly on that page, there's an order bump. There's a little checkbox that says, hey, if you would like to get if you're going to get the Ultimate Girl Boss Bundle, you might as well get my other bundle because it's called Online Marketing Made Easy. Has blogging in there, video marketing, Canva, all that good stuff. All my challenges as far as online marketing made easy, that's another bundle, right? So one bundle is $97. The other bundle is $97. You get them both. That's, I think it's like $194 or something like that. And quite a few ladies have opted to get both of them versus one of them. And I'm actually going to give you like 3 examples at different price points for different types of sales with one particular offer. So that's literally doubling the profit per sale. So you want to think about the offers that you're selling right now. When people go to that particular sales page, is it just that offer, or can you add on complementary offers that they could sign up to as well to double, triple, if not quadruple your sales with one sale, right? So I went from, oh, that person potentially buying just that thing for $97 to buying both things and paying $190 something. I think it's $194 if my math isn't completely off. Okay, so that's one way to supercharge your sales with upsells. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 that I want to share with you is repeat sales. Now, repeat sales, it goes into, remember when I said to you tracking and the 80-20 rule? So one of the things that I like to do is take a look at my different e-commerce platforms, whether it be PayPal or Stripe or other platforms that I use, to see who's buying my stuff and see what customers' names come up more often than not. I mean, you should just know that, because more often than not, your true fans and followers are asking you questions, they're sending you emails, but then also you should be looking at your e-commerce platforms to take a look and see who those people are. And when you do see that, what you want to do is check in and say, hey, I noticed that you purchased this. You may also like that. I've got something coming up. I've got my bestseller bootcamp. Are you in a space where you feel like you want to create more products? Okay, well, good. Let's do this. Go into sizzlesense.com/BSBC so you can sign up for the bestseller bootcamp and I can help you create products over the next 90 days, right? So Following up and checking in with your top customers, that's repeat sales, okay? It's not just about the new people, it's about reaching out to the old people. So I want you to think about your offers. I want you to think about what you've got coming up next in the pipeline. And I want you to make a list of people, previous customers that you can communicate with, friendly follow up with. That's going to help you generate more money. So you want to supercharge your sales. Don't just think about being in this trending hot world of promoting on all of these social media platforms. You have to build relationships with these people on those platforms, which means you have to be an example. You have to consistently show up. You got to build that credibility. And as you're building that credibility at the same time in the back end, you can remind your customers that previously purchased from you that you got some new good to give. Right? So repeat sales, number 2, that's a big one. First thing I said to you, upsells, that was number 1. Number 2, repeat sales. Number 3, lost sales. Lost sales. I'm going to ask for those of you who are here, is anybody using an abandoned cart feature on your website or on your store page? Feel free to drop a yes or a no, just out of curiosity. Abandoned cart is an awesome feature. A lot of people put stuff in the cart. You want to talk about 80-20 rule? One of those rules that kind of makes you scratch your head and want to get a little bit, 80% of the people who put stuff in your shopping cart are not going to hit buy. They put it in the shopping cart and they walk away. You know you're one of those people. When's the last time you did that? You went to Amazon, you put a whole bunch of stuff in the shopping cart. You know you did that yesterday. We do it as consumers and other people do it to us, right? So the reality is knowing that 80% of the people who are going to put stuff in the store, put their credit card in and everything, and the minute they're about to hit send, they go, maybe later, right? There's an abandoned cart feature that some stores, not all, some stores and some sales pages allow you to follow up with them. And it's possible that you've experienced this where you put stuff in the cart and you left it in the cart, and then maybe an hour or two later, you got an email from Amazon that said, hey, you still got this in the cart. eBay does that all the time because I'll be putting some stuff in my eBay cart and then walking away. Hey, do you still want this? Are you still interested in that? That's an abandoned cart feature. Are you guys using that? Yes or no? Hey, Levon is here. You're using abandoned cart? Awesome. Okay, now some of you guys may go, ooh, what's that? Never heard of that before. And some of you may be using it, which is great. So I said to you, one of the things that I've been working on is my 10K incubator so I can teach people about generating 10K over time. So my 10K in 10 days incubator, I'm testing different things so I can put that particular curriculum together. And yesterday was a test day for me. I worked on 1K in one day. I got very close, got to 950, but there were different strategies that I worked on in that particular day. And certain strategies worked well that consistently work well for me. So I said, let me just jump on here and share some supercharger sales strategies for those of you who maybe didn't get to participate in that webinar that I did this past weekend, Spring into Action. And I talked about money, marketing, and supercharging your sales. So anywho, in that space, one of the things that worked really well for me was the abandoned cart. So there were sales that came in from people who they were technically going to be a lost sale because they put the stuff in the cart and they left. So you would have got that sale, but you lost it because they didn't completely hit the send button and check out officially, right? But because I put an abandoned cart feature on my Girl Boss bundle, when people don't check out, I check in. I check in with them over a 3-day period. So I send emails like, hey, I see you wanted the Girl Boss bundle. I know you still want it. You still want it? Go click that link. So over the course of 3 days, I check in with them just to see, is there something wrong? Did you have any technical issues? Trust me, do you need help? Do you need some clarity? You want to make sure that you can recoup as many of those potential lost sales as possible. And that's why people use the abandoned cart feature. And guess what? A part of the 950 was seeing those abandoned cart sales come in because I'm tracking that. I'm tracking everything, right? So new sales from upsells and new sales from abandoned cart sales, I'm tracking all of those, okay? So I said to you, I'm sharing 4 sales strategies, right? I gave you the 3 words. We did that first. And now we're going into the 4 sales strategies. The first one was upsells. The second one was repeat sales. The third one was lost sales. You don't even want to know how many people come to your shopping cart and then they go. They don't buy. So you can't recoup everybody. You can't guarantee that everybody's going to buy, but if you add on an abandoned cart feature, you can capture some of those people that left and, kind of nudge them and say, hey, you want that. Nudge them and, get them to come back over, right? So abandoned cart features help with the lost sales. And then last but not least on this list that I have for you, what was the last one that I had for you here? Oh, before I go to the last one, I will share a few things that you can do if you don't have the abandoned, because some people don't have the abandoned cart feature on their store or on the sales page platform that they're using. So a few things that you could do is like, you may also like, sometimes people will have the ability to put other product recommendations on the page. So you can do you may also like, you'll see that a lot on Amazon. Another thing that you can do is a not ready yet. Right? So you can say, hey, not ready yet to buy, ... click here. So giving them an alternative if that particular thing isn't quite the right fit for them, something else that they might be interested in. So a lot of times I may do that as like a button underneath the shop, checkout. I'll have like a, if not ready yet or not interested in this, click here to give them another option. So outside of the abandoned cart feature, the not ready yet, or you may also like, those are some recommendations too. Okay. Oh. I'm like, what is that? Britta's like, spread eagle on the floor. It's hot. So she's just like, I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to enjoy life. Thanks. Okay. So we talked about lost sales. The last thing that I've got on the sales list to share with you guys tonight is flash sales. So that's an opportunity for you to strategically say, hey, I'm doing a quick discount, reduced rate. If you want it, go grab it. Okay. So I launched, I want to say a little over a month ago, the Ultimate Girl Boss Bundle. And then I've been laser focused on Spring Into Action. So that's where my head is at right now. But it's still there. Right. And so one of the ladies in my circle reached out to me and she said, oh my God, I really want this bundle. And we was talking back and forth via email. So I said, you know what, I'll just do a flash sale. And so I did a flash sale and a few people took advantage of that. So that was an opportunity for me to say, hey, if you still want it, go grab it, right? And I shared that with those people. I love ConvertKit. I love that you can segment lists. I shared that with people who were in the abandoned cart, with people who expressed interest in the bundle and didn't necessarily grab it yet. I said, okay, for 24 hours, here's a flash sale for you. You want it, grab it. You don't want it, it is what it is, right? So between upsells, flash sales, lost sales, and repeat sales, those are all strategic ways to supercharge your sales. Now, I dig into these things in more detail as part of the Spring Into Action webinar that I did. It was a 3-hour intensive, really good stuff on magnifying your money, magnetic marketing, and supercharging your sales. If you missed it, you can grab the replays when you go to sistersense.com/WWC, which stands for Weekly Web Class. Just look for the information in the middle so that you can opt into some of the resources that I have available right now. Spring Into Action is one of them, but it's going to go away and go back into the vaults because I have my stuff out. It was live this Saturday. Now you can get the replays and then it'll go back into the vault and on to the next thing. The next thing being the Bestseller Bootcamp for those of you who would like to work with me on creating your new bestsellers, whether it be digital content, service-based packages, or physical printable goods too. Okay. And of course, if you have any questions for me about the Bestseller Bootcamp or Spring Into Action, while you're on the sistersense.com website, you can click the gray tab on the right and send me a voice message, or you can always email sistersense@gmail.com. All right. So moving right along, we talked about the good, that is you thinking about maybe potentially doing a flash sale, checking in with top clients so that you can get repeat sales, maybe integrating some sort of an abandoned cart feature to capture lost sales, and then adding on maybe 1 or 2 complimentary offers to your products on that particular sales page to do upsells. Okay, so those were the 4 sales strategies that I want to share with you. The last thing that I want to do is share my secret. 1 sales secret. So I promised you, I said I'm going to do 3 words, 4 strategies, and 1 secret. But I'm thirsty, y'all. So feel free to share this out. Let me know if you have any questions for me. You can drop those into the comment box. And I'm going to drink some water. Okay. Hey, Regina. Thank you for joining me, my dear. I always tell you guys, as long as I have my water and my Wi-Fi, I'm good. Okay, so before we go on to the secret, okay, before we go on to the secret, out of curiosity, for those of you who are here right now, okay, the first thing that I did tonight was I talked about 3 words. Those 3 words being set, track, and example. If any of those words resonated with you, drop them into the comment box for me. So number 1, are you going to work on setting your revenue goals, especially thinking about what sales you want to make? Number 2, are you going to get better at tracking both your goals and also the 80-20 rule, tracking your top 20% of customers so you can reach out to them more often? And number 3, are you really going to take a real talk, good look at you and answer the question, are you being an example? Are you consistently showing up for your audience if you want them to jump up and sign up for your offers? Again, my favorite quote when it comes to examples, example is not the main way to influence other people. It's the only way. Leading by example, doing what you need to do to be consistent and build those relationships, it's going to give you the kind of results that you need over time, but you've got to show up and be consistent with that, okay? So if any of those words resonate with you, Regina says example, set, track, and example, feel free to drop one of those words into the comment box, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, I said I'm going to share with you guys 4 sales strategies. The first one was upsells. Then we talked about repeat sales. Then we talked about lost sales, how you can recoup those. And then last but not least, flash sales. So of those 4, drop into the comment box and let me know if any of those resonated with you. Recouping lost sales, working on repeat sales, building those upsells, or initiating a flash sale campaign, okay? Maybe one of those you go, ooh, I want to try that, or maybe 2. Feel free to drop into the comment box those that resonate with you. And even if you're watching on the replay side, I always like to talk to you guys too and heart your comments and comment as well, so feel free to let me know, okay? Because those are 4 sales strategies that you can integrate into what you're doing right now to help you supercharge your sales. Upsells, yes, upsells are always one of my favorites because working on generating more profit per sale is just a really smart thing to do, okay? So upsells, something to consider, something to work on. That's definitely a great thing, okay? Lavon says, example, leading by example, showing up, being more consistent. Very, very important, okay? Feel free to, again, continue dropping those into the comment box. Let me know, guys, what you're working with. I love the tapping on the hearts and the love. If you feel like this is something that somebody in your circle needs to share here, feel free to share. And, of course, you can also tag them here, okay? So a couple of things that you can work on. Okay. So here is my sales secret. I see you guys are still commenting, which is awesome. Good. Here is my sales secret for you. You want to supercharge your sales? You want this thing to work for you? You want to be an influencer too? You have to keep going. You want to get better at sales? You have to keep going. I need you guys to stop breaking down before your breakthrough. Did that hit you? Because I know it hit me. Stop breaking down before your breakthrough. I shared a web class with you a day or 2 ago, and the title was essentially me sharing 3 ways that you could stop pushing back your plans so that you could push forward your business. And I shared the acronym of STOP, which is stop, think, observe, proceed, right? Stop, think, observe, proceed. That's the good stop. When, as opposed to you just kind of rushing head first, panic first, trigger first into something, you think about it, you observe what's going on, and then you proceed, right? But also keeping in mind, in order to do that, to be in that place of thoughtful strategy, to be in that place of, as I mentioned to you before, patient, present persistence, you got to stop breaking down before the breakthrough. Being all up in your feelings, throwing up your hands. I ain't doing this no more. I tried it once, right? I tried to sell. Nobody bought. And they're not going to buy. Keep in mind, we look at right now I'm talking to you. I've got my peripheral vision. My eyes on the dog. You know, the timer's in the back there. The ring light is the bling light. It's the glow. I mean, our eyes are all over the place. We're getting thousands, if not millions of pieces of information every single moment of the day. And you feeling bad because you put it out in 1 or 2 ways and nobody bought. In order for you to get more people to buy, you have to keep going. The rule of 7, because I talked about the 80-20 rule to sales a little bit earlier. The rule of 7, as you know, and I got to keep repeating it because sometimes you guys hear it, but it didn't hit. The rule of 7 is most people have to see your stuff at least 7 times before they even take action. And taking action, by the way, doesn't mean buying. Maybe just going to the website or going to the sales page. And I said to you, look at 80% from the other perspective. Yes, when you think about 80% of your business, that's coming from 20% of the sales from your top customers, right? You think about when it comes to the shopping cart, 80% of people put the stuff in the cart and they don't buy, which means you got to keep going, keep compelling, keep jumping in and showing up, because that consistency is the example, not just for them, but for you, of what you can do. Because sometimes you think you can't do it anymore. I can't take another rejection. I cannot take this. They want this, I create this, and then it's crickets and they don't buy this. What the hell? What am I doing? What are they thinking? What's going on? It's consistency. The reality is we're adulting, we're humans, we got a lot of going on in our lives. And honestly, sometimes it's not even your product, it's resistance. It's, man, I got so much to do. I don't know if I can put what you are giving me on my plate. Especially if what you're giving is information or activity. Sometimes people don't know if they're capable of doing what you're telling them. I'm going to show you how to do. And sometimes it's not even you or the price of what you're offering, right? So whatever those reasons be, whether it's them, whether it's me, whether it's you, everybody, you have to keep going. Stop breaking down before your breakthrough, right? Dawn says, drop the mic. It's so important. It's so important. So, okay. One of the things that I didn't talk to you about today, when I talked about the 4 sales earlier, was what I like to call side effect sales. Side effect sales, okay? And it's just as it sounds. You ever know when they give you medication and they're like, it's gonna, you see like this person and they're skipping with their dog and they look so great, may cause diarrhea. May cause migraines, may cause panic attacks, and it's like they're happy and they're smiling, but then they're telling you all of these side effects, right? Well, that's the negative side effects of medication. The positive side effects of extra money is what I like to call side effect sales. And essentially what that means is this: when you're consistent, when you keep going so that you can get to your breakthrough, when you power through to your breakthrough, you're going to find a lot of people will come and you'll get sales that you didn't anticipate. And, I said to you guys, I'm working on my 10K incubator and testing out different strategies so I can build up the curriculum for that particular offer in a few months. So yesterday was a test day. And in the test day, my goal was 1K in one day. I got very close. I got 950. Yay, me. Right. But in that process, I generated different types of sales, which I talked about with you guys earlier. One of them is side effect sales. One of the side effects of consistently talking about an offer is people go, oh, so good to see you. That reminds me, I need ... Not the offer that you were selling, but maybe something else that you offer. And just because you're present, they want that. Okay. And it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't really talking about my web design services, but if you want that, okay, you can go buy that. I really wasn't talking about the mastermind, but if you want that, okay, you can sign up. I really wasn't talking about my clarity calls, but yeah, you can go to callme.assistance.com to schedule a call if you want that. Sure. That's the side effect, right? When you're tunnel vision focused on one thing, but people see you and they're present and they ask you either about something else that you offer, or if you can create something that's going to be effective and help them in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So just by keeping in not the circle, but keeping, what am I trying to say? Don't put the ing on it. Just by being in a place where you keep going. Okay, because I keep saying keeping and it wasn't coming to me. Being in a place where you keep going outside of those other kind of sales I talked to you about today, side effect sales will come through as well, because at the end of the day, you cannot get what you do not ask for. So you ask for what you want and a little bit more with that consistency, okay? Be an example. Be the example. Okay. Now, As I mentioned before, right now what I'm doing is my Jump Marketing Challenge. So every day I'm sharing all the marketing strategies with the ladies who signed up for Jump. Jump is no longer available as an offer in and of itself. That lasted, I think, the first 3 to 5 days of me launching it. But you can still get access to Jump either as part of the Spring into Action replays of the Bestseller Bootcamp, both of which you can learn more about at citizensense.com/WWC. Okay. WWC stands for weekly web classes. So you can sign up to get updates on my weekly web classes on that page, and you can learn about the current offers and resources that I have for you inside of the Sister Sense Circle. Right now, it's all in down. It's about to be all the way live with the Spring into Action this coming weekend here in North Carolina. Can't wait to do that. And then coming up after that, the Bestseller Bootcamp 90-day product production virtual experience. So take a look, learn more about that. All of those insightful things are available for you over at citizensense.com/WWC. Hey, Michelle. Michelle, I sent you an email about our clarity session. I think it's supposed to be on Wednesday next week. And then I looked at your questions and I was like, I think we need to do a webinar. So let me know if we can do that webinar tomorrow, because I do have time at 11 a.m. And I'm saying this to you now because I could email you, but I'm glad that you're here. If we can do that as a 11 a.m. webinar tomorrow, great. Email me. You don't have to comment here. But if not, we'll do it as a webinar next week, okay? Because I've got all the answers to your questions, but I think us doing a webinar would be the best way to do it. Michelle is an etiquette coach, and I worked with her to produce a beautiful website, mshannon.org. Is that it? Is it mshannon.org or .com? Drop the URL in the comment box. And I've got quite a few ladies in my circle who specialize in etiquette coaching and consulting, which is interesting, always interesting. So feel free to drop that link into the comment box. So I think I did it, y'all. I think I gave you all the good that I wanted to give today. As I mentioned before, 3 words, 1 secret, 4 strategies. At this point, if you have any questions for me about sales, feel free to drop those into the comment box. Or you can share this out, because sharing is caring. Share the love. Anybody in your circle needs to hear about sales, certainly feel free to share this. Like I said, this is kind of me sharing with you guys some of the things I talked about inside of the Spring into Action 3-hour virtual intensive that happened this past Saturday. That's going to go back into my vault real soon. So if you want to catch the replays, make sure when you go to sistersense.com/WWC, you grab those if you see them there before that good goes away. Okay, good. Yes, mshannon.org. Had so much fun helping Michelle design that site. Beautiful images, great content, always great working with amazing experienced professionals. So etiquette coaching and consulting is mshannon.org. So you definitely want to take a look at Michelle's good as well. And outside of that shameless plug that I gave my client Michelle, for those of you who are here, feel free to drop your website URL into the comment box and let us know who you are and what you do, whether you are watching live or via the replay. Okay. So I also see, I'm not sure if she's still here. I saw Lavon was on here, and Lavon is another web client of mine. I feel like all my web clients are on tonight. So I worked with Lavon on her website, Live Vibrantly. I see Dawn is here. I worked with Dawn on her updating her website, Flourish Leadership Group. I'm not sure if Quanisha is still here, but right now we are working on her website, blackwomenceo.com. So for those of you who are my clients, thank you for joining my live. Feel free to drop the comment box in there, your URL, but whether you're my web client or not, you guys can just kind of drop into the comment box who you are, what you do, and share your website too. And again, for those of you, hey, Katrina, so good to have you here, my dear. Thank you for that throwback. Katrina was one of the amazing ladies I worked with as part of the Women of Color coaching program with Michelle Shaw many moons ago. And she posted a throwback way back from like 10 years ago. And it was like, oh my God. See, that's what relationship building is all about. Where at the end of the day, you don't got a runaway skirt trying to hide when old clients come pop up in the building. You always like, hey, boo. That's what good relationships do, right? Be an example. So good to see you here, Katrina. Again, guys, feel free to drop into the comment box either questions that you may have for me, or drop into the comment box who you are, what you do, and put your URL too. Sharing is caring, so tag somebody who maybe needs to learn more about sales. And I will do my best to jump back in here hopefully tomorrow. My goal as part of Spring Into Action is to do a web class a day, and that's a lot of work. So hopefully I'll be able to jump on here tomorrow and talk about some more things with you guys. If you have any particular web class topic requests, you can post that in here too, like really quickly before I hit turn off. Or if you're watching the replay, say, hey, LaShanda, I would love for you to do a web class on ... Okay? Because I may just do that for you. So feel free to let me know. Regina Coley, educational consultant, Flourish Leadership Group, leadership development and communication skills development. So feel free, guys, to just drop in your URL, because you never know. There might be somebody who sees you and sees there's a perfect synergy between the two, and provides an opportunity to work together. I did my mastermind tonight. I always do that on 2 Tuesdays a month. And we talked about magnetic marketing. I also shouted out two of my clients, Eva the Diva, travelwitheva.com, and Nicole Nunez, who is a health and wellness coach. So amazing to see my clients and ladies working together. Nicole was interviewed on Travel with Eva, and it was a great session. So always an opportunity outside of what I can share with you to support you, whether it's saying to you, you can drop your URLs and comments here, or encouraging you to work together, because each one teach one, and that's how we make it to the top. All right, so thank you, you guys. You dropped your URLs in there. I'm done. I shared as much as I wanted today. Make sure that you go to sistersense.com/WWC. Okay, for weekly web classes. You want to register absolutely free over at sistersense.com/WWC, so you can get access to some of my best web class trainings on money marketing and sales absolutely free, and you can get updates and alerts. So by the way, turn on the updates and alerts wherever that button is on this thing. So when I do go live, you can get those updates from me. And of course, look at the resources that are available for you on the WWC page, especially the Spring Into Action, because I talked about how to magnify your money, magnetic marketing, as well as supercharging your sales. So you thought I talked about it today? I really dug in deep as part of the Spring Into Action webinar, and I want you to get those replays before they go away, if you didn't get to catch it live. All right. Michelle says, I would love for you to do a web class on starting a web class or Facebook group for a monthly or weekly class or subscription. Okay. That's something to think about. You know, I did, Michelle, to be honest with you. You're in the mastermind, right? I feel like you're in the mastermind. We did a training maybe like 2 months ago on creating your own monthly membership program that's subscription based. I'm not sure if you're in the mastermind, but that was one of the last masterclass sessions that I did in the mastermind. But I'll take a look at this question. I did a screenshot so I could screenshot it and think about what I could do and share as far as a web class is concerned. But I also have that masterclass session as well, so we can talk about that too. If you were in the mastermind, then maybe you got it. But if you're not, because I only give every month, you get access to the current month and the month before. So this month we're doing magnetic marketing, and last month we did lead magnets and upsells. So it's not available anymore. But we can talk. Not sure. Okay, so you're not sure if you're in the mastermind right now? Okay, we'll talk about it because we have a clarity session coming up real soon. So if anybody else has any requests as far as web class topics, again, feel free to drop those into the comment box, as well as dropping in your website, what you do, who you are, all that good too. Okay. Awesome. So alrighty, my lovelies, go forth, have an amazing weekend. I'll do my best to jump back on here tomorrow and share some smart things you can do with your money, marketing, and sales goals too. Whew. It's so much fun when I get to hang with you. Till next time, take care. Mwah. doing my little dance.